Fated Heart. This movie is on Uche Nancy TV, and now you can see the lead characters, that is Emodi. We also have Ada Yuli, and then as well as Bryan Okora. Now, Fainted Heart, it talk about a young man who is so rich and ended up taking this poor girl off the street, lying to her, deceiving her, and taking away her virginity. She got pregnant, and this man denied. Didn't want to have anything to do with this girl because she was an illiterate, poor, and had no one. So years later, this man got married, and the wife cheated on him with his best friend. Then the wife was also not able to have a child for him. So he had to trace back, confess his sins, and say, yes, I was responsible for this so lady who got pregnant for me years ago. They had to look for this girl, apologize because this rich young guy was suffering from stroke. So yeah, basically that's what, a quick recap of what this movie talks about. Let's start this review with the cast. Let's start with Ray Emodi. Ray played the character, the guy that was rich and neglected this poor girl. Ray's character was so laid back instead of it to be more forward, because he was actually like the main focus of this movie, or the story was surrounding him. I think even the title has to do with him. But he was so laid back. I wasn't feeling his character at all. Seriously, I wasn't. I was rather feeling Bryan's character, which was really surprised because I was like, nah. Because the only scene that I actually enjoyed Ray character in this movie was when he found out, or he met the wife and the best friend, in bed. And actually that was also the scene where he had his stroke, or yeah, he got sick or something like that. So that was the scene where I really enjoyed his character. Ray was really laid back. He wasn't vocal. I mean, he was fun to watch, but the acting and bringing emotion out, I wasn't feeling that at all. But that notwithstanding, his costume in this movie was good, and I like the way he looked in this. He looked really rich, very carefree. That I can give it to him. But the acting, I wasn't really feeling it. Then let's talk about Bryan. Bryan, like I said earlier on, his character was a little bit more, poised, a little bit more vocal, because I think he was playing the bad guy. The character he played, he didn't want to have a child, he didn't want to get married, he didn't want to be in a relationship, but he was having numerous girls that he was, frolicking with. So I think that may be a contributing factor to why I like his character more, because he was more free, vocal, pompous, more jovial, more outspoken, and I think that was, I enjoy his character more. And let's talk about the, main character, the lady Ada. She was really good. I love the character she played when she was an illiterate, the poor orphan. I think that character was more entertaining, more interesting. And she got saved by this rich, lonely woman who adopted her, and then she trained her. So there's more part two in this movie, more like she was poor, neglected, orphan. Then she became a boss lady, a doctor, well spoken. So her character has two parts, and for me, I really enjoy what she did in this movie. She put the character up very well. I mean, sometimes we don't see most of these faces, especially if they are not popular, they don't have a fan base that support them. These are the characters that do most of the acting very well, or they are the people, or most of the time actually, they put up a good performance, because I'm sure they want to impress viewers, they want to impress fans, they want to have their own fan base. So they put in a lot of effort when they are acting. And I think that's exactly what happened to this lady as well in this movie. She was really good. I really like what she did in this movie. Speaking of the pigeon, and the pigeon is not the normal day pigeon. Her pigeon sound more like the Bini and Do pigeon, and I think that is refreshing to hear. It gives you a different feel of hearing different kind of pigeon as well, like unlike the normal one that we always hear. So I think I like that about her character. Then we talk about the costume in general for this movie. I think costume wise, which Nancy did very well. That's the wardrobe. you know Ray mother was looking so rich, which is really nice. The makeup, the hair, I mean, the mom is rich, Ray is rich, so they look the part. I think Uche Nancy did very well with the wardrobe on set with this movie. Even the woman who adopted Ada, she was also looking so good. The makeup was on point. The makeup, kind of hid all the wrinkles. Like, she looks really young, and I really like that about this movie. And also, let me also talk about the fact that the cinematography was good for this movie. Yeah, she actually improved. Compare it to the previous one, I think this was an upgrade and a better one for this movie, Fated Heart. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it, guys. You definitely enjoy it. But the downside of this movie is that it's quite long. Yeah, the movie is 2 hours plus. So if you're someone who is not a fan of long YouTube movies, I don't think you will enjoy this movie at all. Nah, I don't think you. I think that's just the downside of it. But that with the movie itself is good. The storyline, I just give you an idea of it. It's really nice. So yeah, it's really, really, really good. Watching this movie. Another downside that I think I have to talk about is also the fact that we didn't see the child that she had. You know, there was no scene, there was no child in sight of this movie, despite the fact that there was a lot of parts of the story that surrounded the kid. The father wanted to see the kid. All they did was to speak on phone, and that we could tell that there was no child in a picture of this movie at all. So that was another downside for this movie. But in general, I think Uche Nancy did a better job on this project compared to her previous ones this year. This was a better project. If you haven't seen it, you should try and watch this movie. And I also want to just quickly say that sometimes, as fans or viewers, should be given chance to unpopular faces. Trust me, they are the people who put in a lot when they are acting, because they know that they have to impress. They want to make a name for themselves, so they put in their best. Let's give them a chance to appreciate what they do. Thank you, guys. And rating this movie, I'll definitely rate it 5/10. If you haven't seen it, do what to watch. Fated Heart is on Uche Nancy TV.